Hello, welcome back to Book Nerd TV. Today we're going to discuss a book that I read. It was either at the end of 2019 or the very beginning of 2020 called In West Mills by Deshawn Charles Winslow. In West Mills takes place in West Mills, Virginia. It's a very small town in Virginia, and our story starts off in, let's say, the late 1930s when the character Not is not your typical school teacher. She's not prim and proper and reserved, and Not is a hard drinking, hard loving woman who does not care about what people think is proper. She's not concerned about what people think she should do. Not is going to make the decisions for herself in her life. She's going to live her life the way she sees fit. She's not a very social or very friendly person per se, very prickly personality. But as she settles in West Mills, she moves next door to a gentleman named Otis Lee. Otis Lee is married to a woman called Penelope. Both Otis Lee and Penelope, to a lesser extent, managed to befriend Not, even though Not isn't someone that it is easy to make friends with. Again, prickly personality. She doesn't like to be told what to do, when to do. She doesn't necessarily think about she's not very concerned with others, not in a negative way. She's just living her life, concerned with herself, nursing, as it turns out, some hurt and some pain. And so what she does, her behavior feels like an attempt to protect herself. Otis Lee, on the other hand, is not someone who you can say no to and have it stick. Otis Lee is not someone who gives up easily. Otis Lee is also someone who loves easily. He's like the town father in that respect. So he's not the mayor. He's not like an acknowledged leader of an organization or anything per se. Otis Lee is just that person in the town, in West Mills, who worries about other people, tries to do things to help other people. He's just that, he's a caretaker. He takes care of people, whether the people want him to take care of them or not. Case in point, Not. As I was saying, Not, or well, her real name is Azalea Century, but she goes by Not. I think it's a nickname, if I recall correctly, that either her father or her mother gave her for her stubborn personality, perhaps. Not has a bit of a problem with alcohol, and the consumption thereof, which leads her to make some very poor decisions with regard to men and some questionable but maybe ultimately positive or better decisions with regard to some of the other major issues that come up in her life. And I'm not going to say exactly what those are because I'm trying to keep this spoiler free. Not that this is a book with mysteries or things you have to solve. There are some secrets. The secrets are revealed in the course of the book, but I don't want to say what those secrets are now because it will spoil for you the story that Mr. Winslow slowly reveals over time. This story takes place over the course of, I would say, from the late 1930s when Not, or Azalea, or Not, comes to West Mills, up until maybe I would say late 60s, early 70s. And within that time, Not moves from this young woman to middle-aged woman to older woman, having to deal with the life decisions, the good, the bad, the ugly life decisions that she has made or was forced to make because of her refusal to adhere to anyone else's rules, take anyone else's suggestions. She is just a fiercely independent person who, despite any setbacks she may run across, lives her life as herself. She never changes who she is in order to be accepted, in order to fall in line with propriety. Not is always herself, good, bad, or indifferent. The writing of Deshaun Charles Winslow it's not poetic, but it feels poetic. It's spellbinding. He really does weave this spell in the telling of this story, because West Mills, the story in West Mills, takes place almost completely in this small town in Virginia of West Mills. And even though we stay in this small town, Winslow is able to communicate through the time that passes, through the sort of generations that sort of come up over the 40, 50 or so years that the book covers. Winslow communicates to us the reality of the de facto segregation in Virginia at the time, even though the stories stay on the periphery. It never really moves to the center of the story because segregation and institutionalized racism was not necessarily the focus of this book. This relationship, this friendship is. He's still able, even though he keeps that sort of information in the background, on the periphery, he's still able to communicate how these people lived their lives in Virginia in the 30s, in the 40s. And as time moves forward, you can see him, again, just sort of peripheral mentions, the way he just brings in characters to help us understand that now the civil rights movement has kicked off. Winslow was able to show through the use of these younger characters in the story the effects of the civil rights movement, how Black people are able to access education, information, and sort of economic stability and ability, right, just through the use of character. The focus of the book isn't the struggle of Black people for civil rights in this country. It is the backdrop. The focus of this book is the relationship of these, it's really three people, but certainly the main two people, Otis Lee and Knott, or Azalea, it's their complicated, intertwined friendship and how that friendship and their various and sundry decisions affect their next generation. In West Mills was this very unexpected, quiet but powerful book, really about friendship and love, and is so well written. So, I hate to say lyrical because I think I say lyrical to describe a lot, but lyrical. It's just so well written and so well executed, and it tells just this lovely little story, this sort of commonplace story about everyday people, and I enjoyed it so much. And I highly recommend that you pick up In West Mills by Deshaun Charles Winslow. That's all I have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, if you liked the video, leave a like. If you'd like to comment, if you've read In West Mills and you'd like to tell me what your thoughts are about the book, please feel free to comment. If you're enjoying the content from the channel, go ahead and subscribe. And I will see you in the next video.